Hi everyone, so we have decided to make our first trip to Europe in our motorhome. Hoping to visit two friends that have emigrated from South Africa, one to Albufeira in Portugal and the other one in Spain. We hope to leave around the 5th of January 2023 and return in late February. This requires us to deal with three things: my Schengen Visa, the dogs so they can travel with us, and the vehicle. So the first and most important for me is to get a Schengen Visa. As I am travelling on a South African passport, although I do have a resident permit to live in the UK, I am on the first year of a 5-year process of hopefully becoming a British citizen through the ancestral visa process. The Schengen Visa application is a nightmare, to say the least. Although there are all the necessary websites filled with information, I personally find the information lacking specifics. Also, it is better to supply more information than is required rather than less. The first step is to establish which country you are going to be spending the most time in. That then becomes the country to which you have to apply for your Schengen Visa. As we are going to spend the most time in Portugal, we established that my application had to be done through the VFS Global Processing Centre. The next step is to make an appointment. Well, this proved to be a difficult task. There are 3 VFS centres in the UK that handle Portuguese visas: London, Birmingham, and the other in Edinburgh. However, there were no appointment slots at any of the centres for 3 months ahead. Eventually, after logging in more than 40 times, I managed to get a slot in Birmingham, only to discover that because I am based in Devon, I can only go to London VFS Centre. This was my fault, as I had not read some preamble information, so I lost my slot and my money. So I had to start again to get a London appointment. The next task was to fill out the application and gather the supporting documents. This, in my opinion, is not very clear. The simplest way would be to book a flight to Portugal and book a hotel and pay for both, as they require proof of travel and accommodation. However, we were wanting to go in our motorhome and stay in airs, overnight parkings, then eventually stay with friends. This is when the problem started. You have to book a return and pay for the Eurotunnel or ferry crossing. I had to get a letter of invitation from our friends, signed by them. Our first one was not and therefore rejected, with a copy of their passport and their residence card, plus a utility bill with their name on. Once again, my first attempt, I did not have the utility bill. Then a copy of your vehicle registration papers, vehicle insurance covering Europe and clearly showing both drivers. Then there is the travel insurance. My first attempt, I chose France, Spain and Portugal, as these were the only countries that we would be travelling to. Wrong. It had to include the whole of the EU. Then the next is the proof of financial means. I supplied copies of my bank account and my credit card, which has a very high facility. Wrong. Your credit card is not considered, so you have to have 55 euros per person per day in your bank account, and you have to provide 3 months of bank statements. Then there is all the copies of passports, residence permits, driver's license, both sides, my wife's passport and driver's license, and our marriage certificate. This process took me 2 days and 2 trips to London from Exeter. Having to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning is not fun. And then waiting for your passport to be posted back to you and to check to see if the visa has been granted or not. Something to look forward to when planning my next trip to Europe. Oh yes. The dogs. The next step, you have to have your dog's rabies vaccinations up to date. If they are not, you will have to wait 21 days before you can apply for their travel passport certificate. This is about 165 to 250 pounds and has to be done within 10 days of you departing. For the ferry, they also required that the dogs be muzzled. Poor little things. The vehicle. You have to have light deflectors on the headlight beam lenses. You must carry road triangles. You have to have a reflective jacket for each person traveling in the vehicle. These must be stored inside the vehicle with you. They recommend that you have a first aid kit. You must have a GB sticker on the back of your vehicle. Then you are ready to take your first trip. Hooray! Please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon for notification of our next video.